Today we're going to have a look at the VoroMotors eMove Roadrunner SE. And SE stands for Standard Edition, or is it Special Edition, or maybe it's Slow Edition. Yeah, from the factory, can you see 13 miles an hour? That's what it's saying. However, based on my visual inspection of the controller, it looks like it can be modified. That said, check out this sine wave controller. It is impressive. Take a look at this. All right. It's just going to power up this hill. Wow, it just really does power through this hill. And can it get through the 15% grade? I think so. Wow, just my luck. It has adjustable front shocks right here, plastic fender, and has commuter wheels that are slightly larger and they're tubeless. Yes, there are no tubes inside of this thing. These are 14-inch wheels, and something that you typically do not see with 14-inch wheels, massive 180 millimeter brake rotors. Here's the front light, is a dual beam. This is a 36 volt, 10 amp hour battery, and it looks larger than what a 10 amp hour battery would be. So I'm assuming a lot of this is just protection for the battery. On the rear, we have a brake light, but on top of the brake light, there are signal lights for left, right, or you could just combine both of them for emergency lights. As you can see on the handlebar, even these light signals, they stay lit. Here's their horn, light. Right here tells you the speedometer, and it's quite basic. Just tells you miles per hour, and you can switch to kilometers per hour. It tells you your voltage and a battery meter and a trip odometer. This bike does require a key to operate, and it has a twist throttle. There are no pedals. It just has pegs, that's all. So there is no grease involved. It stays very clean. This is perhaps the finest seat I've ever had chance to sit on an e-bike, e-bicycle, scooter. It just feels so nice. And on top of that, it's wide, it's soft, it's long, it's cushy, it can accommodate two people. And VoroMotors isn't saying that this is designed for two people. However, I'm quite confident it'll fit two undersized Asians. Moving towards the rear, 3-point mounted fender. It is stiff. Also back here is a 180 millimeter rotor. This is a custom VoroMotors 36 volt motor. And up here, just a little bit underneath the seat, you can spy that the controller is sitting in there, which is a sine wave 36 volt 20 amp hour controller. So I believe that's good for over 700 watts. This little moped scooter e-bike comes in at 48 pounds, all inclusive with the battery and everything mounted. So let's test it out. Well, what do you expect? This is small, it has a short wheelbase, it is nimble, it moves around. It's the eMove Roadrunner SE. Yes, so it is really true. The top speed is a bit limiting. Other than that, I mean, this e-bike, e-scooter, e-device, it's rated to go 80 miles an hour. At least the frame is. I can't really say because I don't plan on dying. But this thing, it does feel really smooth. And it has adjustable brakes. It does feel like it is on a higher level. than the Jetsons, that's for sure. It's because the seat is so comfortable. You can go riding on this for many hours. On top of that, there's something about the frame that feels so solid about having a one-piece style, non-foldable type of frame. This brings back some nostalgia. It's like the older e-bikes, right? The older e-bikes that have the Tecumseh engines or the Honda engines, those gas guzzlers. This thing feels like it. It feels nostalgic, and the ride is kind of similar in that you are lower and you're nimble, and you're not going to be an eyesore. You're not going to be a loud monster like those other machines. Aside from that, I mean, this is fun. This is a really neat device. I can see how people would like this for like a pit bike. You know, if you're working on a large warehouse, you just want a toy to get around the place. This would be fantastic for that. And it's like a premium version of that, right? It's a premium version of the Jetsons, and you're getting more for sure. The brakes, I mean, they don't really squeak. They feel fantastic. Just something that was always lacking in the Jetsons. But here, it is fully embraced. And the seat, wow, I mean, seriously, this seat is fantastic. And you really can just fit two people in a pinch. I mean, it feels more confident than the Jetsons and most other small type of e-bikes because it has a wider handlebar right here. And on top of that, the seat feels so great. The shocks, they feel great. So we might as well do it, a brake test. And thankfully, this thing doesn't take much to get to the top speed. And with the 180 millimeter rotors, yeah, this thing is not going to have any trouble stopping. And you saw earlier, I mean, when I was test riding, I was able to stop like going down hills. It's incredible. And here we go. Yeah, nice and quick stop. Yeah, it feels great. I mean, this stop is, the brakes they're really nice for this type of bike. I mean, we'll do it again right here. I mean, let's see, this thing is going to stop and I'm going to gain speed even though it's going to top out. And yeah, haha, that is sick. That is so great. Yeah, even downhills, fantastic braking. All right, so here we go. This is the 15% grade, and you know, you're going to need a lot of power. Not only power, you're going to need a lot of endurance, something that is completely lacking in middle-aged men. However, this video is not about me. It is about the Roadrunner SE. Can it make it? We're gonna see right now. And if it doesn't make it, that means I have one shot. I'll have to walk it up or push it up and it'll look really funny. So there's no pedaling involved. If it makes it good, if it don't make it, then I'm gonna look really silly. Oh, here, I mean, it definitely has the power, but does it have the endurance? The 10 amp hour battery, is it going to be enough? Wow. You know, this thing is going to make it. I think so. It's just humming along, but it's going to make it. Wow. 36 volts. This is an impressive hill. That sine wave controller is doing its job. And I am impressed. It is going to make it up this hill. Even the 48 volt Jetsons, 48 volt electric, the 36 volt Jetson, they weren't able to make this hill, but look at this thing, it's just chugging along. Granted, it's probably going to deplete a lot of the battery because I'm not helping it with pedal assist or anything of that sort. So just keep that in mind, that it's doing all of the work. This is just a scooter and it totally makes it up this really steep hill. I am impressed. Let's step back for a second and go over what this e-bike comes with. All right, first, when you open it, you'll see that the e-bike is neatly assembled. It's not much setting up. Okay, so it will come with the charger, tools, and insert bar. And the bar goes into the steering column. And aside from that, that's going to be the bulk of your setup. It's just taking it apart, taking up all the zip ties, and then inserting the bar and the steering. When this is done, be sure to put on the pegs, tighten the handlebars, the brake calipers, the throttle controller, and double over on the axles and double check the wheel. If you have further issues with the bike, check VoroMotors.com. If you have even further issues with the balding hair, that can't be helped. Bruh. Let's have a look at the size. If you have a sedan, like a small size sedan, you can't fit it in the back seat. You will likely take up all the space. There will not be any space left for passengers. However, it's fairly easy to get in, and it has no grease, no chain involved. If you have a hatch rear, again, it'll fit without problems. However, if you have only a trunk, then that probably will not work out. Let's talk about range. This e-bike, e-scooter, the Roadrunner SE, comes with a 36 volt 10 amp hour battery. That is 360 watt hours, give or take. And it looks like the battery can be upgraded. I think VoroMotors is going to provide an upgrade path. This is for people that like to tinker. This battery will likely provide a way that you can upgrade. Just so you know, you don't have to go all the way down in bars. I have 2 bars left, 2 to 3 bars. And at this point, when I am throttling, it cuts off. So I can't go faster than 8 miles an hour. It is really dead at this point. But it's okay, because I got 17 miles. That is impressive. 17 miles on a 36 volt 10 amp hour battery, 360 watt hour battery. That isn't bad at all. I believe the Jetson Haze has a larger battery, and I was not able to achieve that amount. So this is pretty good. It's rated at 20, however 10 in real life scenarios with inclines and declines. This is good. And for what it's worth, it probably has a mile or 2 left. It is in like a hobble mode. You can't go really fast. It's just enough juice that's pumping so that you can maybe make it home. And it's showing that it's 31 volts at this point. When it started, it was at 42 volts. So if you need to get home and you are noticing that you have like no more power left, it will give you just enough juice to go like at 8 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour, and that might be enough for you to hobble your way home. All right, let's talk about support for a second. VoroMotors has a 323 number, and if you're not from around here, that is like a LA number, is a Los Angeles number that you can call. On top of that, they have this chat, and this is how you get support from them. And I was able to get support in the field. Somebody, when they say somebody is online, somebody really is online. And I ran into a problem where the e-bike would not switch gears. I did not know that it was a single speed bike. I called them, well, I chatted with them on the spot and was able to figure that out. So on top of that, here is the eMove Roadrunner SE, and what I like about this is that you can get a lot of spare parts. Let's have a look at it. This is a brand new bike, and they already have all the parts that you can get for it. You have a portable tire inflator, tubeless tires, the handlebars, you have the folding handlebars, and whatnot. You can get your accessories if your bike goes down, and you can get this immediately. So I really like that about the support. Final thoughts. This e-bike did live up to some of the promise and didn't live up to the others. I mean, 13 miles an hour when I saw 20. So I suspect that because of the climbing power that this e-bike can probably be tricked into going that speed. However, that will be on another video. If you want something straight out of the box that fast, this does not provide it. However, I highly suspect it does, because that climbing ability, that climbing up that 15% grade really did match the spec. That is a tough hill. That is a lot of power. And how can an e-bike with so much power be limited to 13 miles an hour? So I believe that it does have higher top speeds, because this thing just chugs and it's pretty strong. Aside from speed and performance, this e-bike is a really neat little bike scooter. It has nice little pegs. It has nice little seat. Well, it's a large seat actually. And it has gigantic brakes, and it doesn't need fancy hydraulic brakes, because these larger brakes on tiny wheels, they work very well. I was impressed with the brakes. For mechanical brakes, they're rather quiet and they stop on a dime, and they can be abused without issue. Priced at $799, this gets you into the VoroMotors Roadrunner series, and it is the entry-level model. If you need more power, if you need more speed, higher end models exist, and you can go for the V2 or the Pro versions. If you're hesitating due to the cost, try this one out. I will be hacking it. I suspect it will be going at least 20 miles an hour. And if that's okay with you, I think this is a fantastic bike. It does a lot of what other bikes in this price category can do. I mean, there are none that I can find that can climb a hill that strong, and it is this comfortable and this nimble. Premium rotors and brakes, nice small size, small form factor, premium wheels. It is a pocket bike that might have everything that you're looking for without breaking the bank. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. See you in the next one. Take care.